Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're a dentist struggling to get into good physical shape, then this video is for you. I thought this week I'd do something different besides the usual microscopes or endodontics. This week I thought I'd talk about how to get into good physical shape, especially if you're a busy dentist who over a long period of time has kind of let your physical fitness drift and you've reached a stage where you find it very difficult to get back into shape, then this video might help you. I'm going to share with you my own experiences as to how I did this, because say about 12 years ago, I reached this point in my life. I was about 38, 39, and I was in pretty bad shape. Over a period of time, I started becoming busy with dentistry. I was working from morning to evening, not enough time. I got into this habit where I'd finish the work for the day. I was pretty exhausted. I would reach home, I would grab a couple of beers, and then eat a lot of sweets, desserts, because the cortisol starts kicking in. And this went on day after day. And soon enough, I found myself in pretty bad shape. And adding to the poor lifestyle choices and habits was this habit of eating food without having any idea about nutrition per se. So a total of all these things. And in addition to all these, I started traveling quite a bit. I was traveling literally every week, averaging about 8 to 10 flights every month. And when you are traveling by flights, you don't really have much control about what kind of food you get. So I was eating a lot in lounges and airplanes, and this added to my dietary problems as well. So a combination of not exercising enough and not watching what I eat led to me putting on a lot of weight, and I developed this huge pot belly. And then one fine morning, I woke up and I was like 38 or 39, and I decided I need to change. So I'll tell you what I did to put some measures into place so that the changes happened. And ever since I put these changes into place, I might have drifted a little bit here and there, but I've never gone that far as bad as I was during that period. Every time I drift away, I use these same principles again and again to get back into shape. So I thought I'd share it with you. I've shared it with a lot of my dental friends over the years, and they too have found a lot of benefit. So here it is. I'm going to share with you the 5 steps that I took, or which you can take if you find getting back into physical shape a challenge in day-to-day life. So here it goes. First of all is developing the right mindset. Before you plan to get back into shape, you have to ask yourself, why exactly are you doing this? Are you doing this because somebody told you to do it, whether you're forced into it because maybe a spouse told you that you need to get back into good shape or something like that? If that decision is guided by what somebody else told you and you're doing it for somebody else, then it's unlikely that you will be motivated enough to take the steps needed for a long period for you to undergo some sort of a transformation. So that is the first step. You need to develop the right kind of mindset. You need to know why you're doing it. Are you the type who's comfortable being a little overweight? If yes, then continue to be the same way. It's okay. Don't do it because of societal pressure or somebody's body shaming you or something like that. You need to know why you're doing it. In my case, it's pretty clear because I'm 51 now. It's not about looking thin or just the external appearances. There is a direct correlation as to how you look on the outside in terms of what weight you are and how much fat percentage you carry. That has a direct proportion to your overall physical health as well. So you could get all kinds of diseases as you get older. So that alone should be a reason for getting back into physical shape rather than just the aesthetic reasons alone. So for me, it's pretty clear. So similarly, you too have to find a really good reason to get into shape. Otherwise, you will not be able to stick through a process, which is usually a long-term process, to see the results that you want to achieve. So that's step number 1. I think it was Nietzsche who said, he who has a strong enough why will find out the how part of it. So the why is the most important part. So you need to figure out, what's your why? Why do you want to get into shape in the first place? That has to be very clear. Once that is put into place, then yes, we can take the necessary steps to get back into good physical shape. The second step that can help you in your physical transformation is getting the right advice. There is so much noise out there that it is very difficult now to filter the noise that is out there and get the right kind of advice which you can practically use in everyday life. This is a huge challenge because it's not just what information is out there, it's to understand what is the right information and what's the wrong information. And this is a big problem. So I would recommend, rather than rely on what's available free on social media, I would pay a professional and get a tailor-made advice, tailored advice for your particular scenario based on your particular physical conditions. Because remember, no two individuals are the same. So you might get generalized advice which may not be applicable in your case. And that's one part. And the second part is commitment. If you haven't spent money then the chances of you following up decreases. So, but if you spend money and you've hired a professional to give you advice, then you probably will take it a little more seriously, because now there's money involved and you spend money. So these are all games that we play. So in my opinion, it's very difficult to get transformation, predictable transformation, if you don't hire a professional to get the right kind of advice. So that will be step number 2, get the right advice, not free advice available online. Okay, so you figured out why you want to get fit, and you've managed to get a professional who will give you good advice. We move on to step number 3. The third step in your transformation is to be accountable to another individual. Now, most of us cannot rely on motivation alone every day, because motivation is high on one day and is very low on another day. So if you are relying on just personal motivation alone to sustain you for a long period, which is what you need to do to transform yourself, then sooner or later you are going to run out of personal motivation. So the best way to sustain motivation is to transform the accountability from yourself to another individual outside. And the most easiest way to do this is to hire a personal trainer. If you hire a personal trainer, pay them money, and you assign a planned time every day to get to the gym, and you know that an individual is waiting for you in the gym, then you will keep up the appointment 9 times out of 10. So being accountable to somebody else, not just yourself, is one surefire way for you to sustain your motivation over a long period of time. The other way to be accountable is to gang up with a group of friends who also share the same values. You could partner with another friend or two who also wants to transform themselves, and you can form a WhatsApp group, and then keep each other updated on what you did for the day. And if you miss a day, maybe the other person can ask you or help you get motivated to get back on track. So that is another beautiful way to get inspired. And we've seen this all the time. If you do things your own, it's very difficult to sustain momentum. But if you gang up with 2 or 3 friends who are equally motivated, then chances of you sustaining that momentum increases dramatically. So that's the other way. Be accountable to somebody else, and ideally, that could either be a paid professional, or it could be a friend or two who can aid you, and someone who shares similar goals. So that's step number 3, be accountable to another individual. The fourth step that you need to take is to control your dietary environment. Now, again, motivation levels are extremely low for all of us. We are, end of the day, human beings, and we spend a lot of energy in the clinic treating patients. And by the end of the day, as you keep treating patients, which requires a lot of energy, as the day progresses, our motivation level starts dipping. And that's why by the time you finish your work, you will bite into the first pastry that you see or something delicious that you see, because your energy levels are depleted. So you need to control your dietary environment, which means you need to have healthy food on standby whenever you are tired, because when you're tired, the tendency is to eat whatever food is available, and usually what's available are aerated soft drinks, sugary stuff, things like that. It's easy to bite into a donut when it's right there in your vicinity. So one thing you can do is control your dietary environment. Remove all the bad stuff from home or in your clinic. Don't keep sugary stuff. If you are going to keep stuff around the clinic or home, then keep healthy food on standby. The other thing I would advise is to prep your meals. I used to do this before I start for the day. I used to pack 3 meals and I keep it in my car, and I'd carry it with me to the clinic or wherever I travel, so that when I'm hungry, I already have this food with me. So it kind of reduces the temptation for me to order a pizza or a burger or something else. Instead, eat this healthy food instead. So you have to have a system. We have to plan your meals in advance rather than rely on you being hungry and then ordering what's available. So some sort of a system really helps. I would go very extreme, and when you are transforming, you have to be a little eccentric when it comes to carrying your food. I was so eccentric that even when people invited me for parties, I would arrive at somebody's house with a pre-packaged meal, and I would ask the host whether he or she could keep it in the refrigerator for me. And then when it was time for dinner, I would heat that and eat it while the rest of the crowd was having whatever the host was serving. I know it made me look a little eccentric, but that's the kind of extreme measures you have to take when you are transforming. Because when you are transforming, you have to be extremely rigid and eccentric. Once you do transform, then yes, you can ease off a little bit. But these are steps that you need to take. You have to be very rigid in the first 6 months when you are undergoing a transformation, or at least the first 3 months. Okay, so controlling your dietary environment, reducing the temptation where unhealthy food is readily available and accessible. We need to cut those opportunities and rely on systems rather than motivation alone. So that's the fourth step that I would take. Control your dietary environment. Watch what you eat. The fifth step, and this is the most important, is to surround yourself with the right kind of company while you are on a transformation. Like I said, it is very difficult to sustain oneself when one is the lone warrior and playing this game where you are the lone ranger fighting against the entire world, trying to transform yourself. You need help, and you need to surround yourself with the right kind of people. As mentioned earlier, if you have a group of friends who are on the same path as you, nothing like it, you can support each other in your journey. So apart from the physical interaction, the other step is to watch what sort of content you consume online. A lot of us spend a lot of time online. So if you surround your feed with people who are eating a lot of unhealthy stuff, then you tend to drift in that direction. Instead, unfollow those pages where people show you pictures or videos of them eating ice creams and cakes or binge drinking in bars and stuff like that. Instead, surround yourself or expose yourself to fitness influencers who speak about exercising right or running or eating right and things like that. So every time you open your feed, you are surrounded with images and videos of people who are living a healthy life. So that also adds to what you are consuming on a day-to-day basis. So you need to take some extra measures to surround yourself with the right kind of people when you are on a transformation. So those are some of the steps that helped me in my journey, and I hope that it helps you guys as well. But as in anything, there are so many other things that you can do. But one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people do is that they sort of spend a lot of time debating about unnecessary things. For example, they would talk about what kind of juice to have in the morning, or whether to go on a fruit-only diet, or they would argue back and forth about the benefits of creatine or some sort of a supplement. I mean, these are what we call majoring in the minors, the smaller things. What we need to do is get the basics right, and the basics are not that difficult. The information, everybody knows what to do to get fit. You just need to eat right, exercise, and then sustain that for a long period of time. So we know what to do. The problem is we don't know how to execute it. And that's where we need to be a little rigid about these things, especially when you are starting off. Remember that you don't have to be rigid later on in life. This is only when one is trying to make a transformation. So one has to take some really strict disciplinary steps up to the point of being eccentric for about 90 days or so, till these habits become installed. So once you have these habits installed within yourself, then it becomes a part of who you are. You identify yourself as someone who has healthy eating habits and healthy exercising habits. So once you become that kind of person, that means you are already transformed. And once you're transformed, then you don't have to go through these extreme measures of carrying your own food to a party and stuff like that. That would make you very boring, right? But in the initial stages, you have to take extreme measures. And once these habits are set, then you can ease off a bit. But the beauty is that once you are transformed internally, even if you skip a day or two of exercise, you yourself won't feel right. So you will be that kind of person where if you skip 2 days of exercise, you will find a way to get back into the gym on the third day. That's what you call someone who transforms themselves. Or if you eat a bad meal or two, once you've transformed, your body will not accept you to eat a third bad meal in a row. You will want to get back to healthy eating habits. That's what you call a transformation. So once that happens, then you will easily be able to sustain it for the rest of your life. But in the initial stages, if somebody has let go and you become this really bad version of yourself, then these measures that I spoke about will help you make that transformation from someone who has poor fitness habits to someone who keeps himself healthy for their own benefit as well as the benefit of the people who depend on them. I hope that helped you in some ways, a bit different from your endo and microscope content that I post every week. But not to worry, I'm not moved on to becoming a fitness channel. We are still very much a dental channel. I'll see you next week with more endo and microscope based information. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching.